So that's pretty much what's been happening over the last 2 weeks, which of course now means we get to the business end, which is round number 14. As always, this will turn into the prediction show. You wouldn't expect anything less, ladies and gentlemen. So what we'll do, as we always do, is we'll have a little word from our sponsor, and then we'll get straight in to round number 14. And the
Get a drink.
Here we go.
His target. Oh, here comes the wall.
Ooh, love that crunch.
Let me add a little bit of spice.
So there you go, round number 14 fixtures on the screen for you there. This is what we're going to be discussing from now until the end of the show. The Castleford Tigers take on the Wigan Warriors once again. Wow. In another game. The Wolves take on the Red Devils. The Robins go up against the Giants. Hull FC take on the Leeds Rhinos. Then it's the Dragons, the Leopards. Broncos against the Saints is where round number 14 fixtures will end. Greg, looking at that list, a couple of good ones, I think, this week. I think the Wolves, Red Devils, that never disappoints. Robins, Giants, I think could be a good game. You'd expect Rhinos, we'll talk about it, but I'm loath to say Rhinos or FC, but at some point FC surely have got a fire. And then Dragons, Leopards. I think those are the three. Wolves, Red Devils, Robins, Giants, Dragons, Leopards. Get in the chat. Which of those three, because I think we'd all agree they are the games of the week or the contenders, which one would get your vote? Get in the chat now. Wolves, Red Devils, Robins, Giants, or Dragons, Leopards, which get your vote? Greg, obviously you'll be going to the Warrington game against the Red Devils. Which other one of those fixtures are you looking forward to see over and above?
I think Dragons, Leopards is probably edging the game of the week.
Yeah,
I must admit. Although Robins, Giants, I mean, that has got the potential. The thing is with this week, everybody apart from Wigan and Warrington have had a week off.
Yeah,
it's kind of a reset. But I think Dragons, Leopards will probably quite possibly be the game of the week this week. Would you
concur with that, Stef?
Yes, I hope it is. But we'll see. But on paper, it should be an absolute cracker. But I do agree. I think the whole Huddersfield could be a very interesting one, and also Warrington, Salford.
Yeah.
Obviously, Warrington, after the disappointment of Wembley, will be looking to put a few wrongs right, won't they? And that's always a good game, Warrington, Salford.
It is. Like I say, it's very seldom that Warrington Salford doesn't deliver. It's normally a good game, and of course with the Ian. I mean, it's mad, isn't it? The last time Warrington played Salford, Paul Rowley had just turned down a move to Hull FC, and this time it's going to be Ian Blease has just packed his suitcase and left for Leeds Rhinos. Right, okay, let's get into it. As always, we've done a bit of analysis before these shows. Here's their dad. We're going to start with the Castleford Tigers taking on the Wigan Warriors. Since 1996, the balance of power, not surprisingly, has gone the way of the Wigan Warriors. 45 wins to 17. In terms of form, Castleford come into this not too bad. Yes, they lost the last outing, but they won the 3 before that. As for the Wigan Warriors, they've won the last 4 in Super League, and of course the Challenge Cup this weekend. Has that affected them? We'll chat about that. Can they get themselves back up for a night at the Jungle? That's the question. The last time round was at the DW Stadium. That was in round number 8, and it was the Warriors 36-14. If you remember, everybody expected the Warriors to put on a big number because they battered them in the Challenge Cup prior to it. And in fairness, if you remember, that was the Lewis Senior try game. 36-14, Wigan won that. Not as big a margin as many expected. It's second against 10. The attack, I mean, look at that. 357 plays 218. And defence, 406 to 156. Non-surprisingly, the bookies have Wigan 1-5 on, 18-5 if you are a Castleford Tigers fan. In terms of round 14, are there anybody expected back? It's a tight one. Jacob Miller may return. Some Castleford Tigers fans may be saying, Hopefully it's an extra week, but I think that's a bit harsh, quite frankly. Jacob Miller is expected potentially to return to the 21-man squad when they're announced later on in the week. Wigan, of course, come off the back of that final. No injury reports from Wigan from the final, but maybe, just maybe, because he might look at resting a few players going into this one, Matty Pete, based on the fact they've just won the Challenge Cup. And let's be fair, 45 wins to 17 in history since 1996. I think Mr. Pete fancies his chances to maybe make 3 or 4 changes and still come away with the 2 points. Don't want to influence you fellas, but can you see a shock here? Let's not forget Wakefield in 2023. Wigan went to Wakefield in 2023. Nobody gave Wakey a prayer, and they beat them. We see this a lot. When a team wins the Challenge Cup, the week after they can be caught cold. Do we think, though, that Wigan have got far too much quality, ran too well for that to happen? Steph, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think we touched on it earlier. The difference is that Wigan's squad this year is just phenomenal. Like they rested some against Warrington, don't forget. They didn't put the whole full strength side out. I think he will rest a couple of players this week, especially if they've got a niggle. I still think he'll put a very strong side out. And his message to them players will be, Wembley's gone now. We're back to the business, and we can't afford to slip up. And that Super League competition is so tight at the top. You can't lose to Castleford because Saints and Warrington and the rest will be coming after you.
Well, there it is, Steph. As if by magic, my friend, there is the table. The Warriors, as you can see, joint top with Saints going into round 14. Warriors still have that game in hand, as do the Leopards sitting down there in 9th. The Robins, Wolves and Dragons and the Red Devils making up that top 6. We were talking a minute ago there, just quickly going back to the whole fixture list, that perhaps Catalan, Leigh, Greg, you were saying, was game of the round. Leigh a 9th. Salford a 6th. So when you look at places, there is an argument, I think, for Warrington. Salford. Warrington will want to bounce back from the Challenge final. But yeah, just a little note on that. I think it's a close one. I think between the Warrington and the Leigh game for me.
Yeah. But going back to the Wigan Castleford game, I can't see anything but a Wigan win. Kieran will probably be back. Dupre will be back.
Will he?
I would have thought so.
But will he? Because young Mr. Eckersley, did he do enough not to be dropped? We talk all the time. Kieran, it's worked out really well for Wigan, really well. They've won the Challenge Cup, but that was a shocker from Kieran. Should Kieran just automatically come back into the team? Because let's be fair,
he shouldn't, but I think he will.
Do you? Well, okay.
Yeah, I think he will. He shouldn't. You're right. He shouldn't. But young Eckersley, how much has that taken out of him? Emotionally.
Dawn saying it was a 3-match ban for Kieran and Dupre.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah. Yeah. Night, everybody. Night. Yeah.
Well done, Dawn.
Yeah. Cheers, Dawn.
But for me, Kieran shouldn't come straight back in when that 3-match ban's done anyway.
No, but he will probably make changes. Yes, they did, Stuart. They made everybody makes mistakes, as Hannah Montana once said. I think he will make some changes, but I can't see. It's in the DNA to win. They'll go there. It'll just be business as usual. 18 plus. 18 plus,
Steph. 18 plus.
Yeah.
We've all got 18 plus. The fans forum. Let's just get into the chat. Stephen Eachus, good evening, Stephen. A new member last week. Great to have you back with us this week. 9-17. You don't see it as a blowout. That's interesting. Somebody who does is our friend Dot Kirkby up there in Hull. She's seen it. Wigan 18 plus from her. John Wilkinson, he's gone 16 plus there to the Wigan Warriors. Peter Mason being very accurate. He's on 34 points to 6. That's a very accurate score. There must be some methodology in that. Our friend Nicola Burtonwood couldn't come to the last quiz. I hope she's at this one. Wigan 18 plus. Leigh Partington's gone the same as well. No major surprises there. Right, okay. So everybody expects a win there for the Wigan Warriors at the Castleford Tigers. to agree. I think that should be pretty much a straightforward game for Wigan. One that's not going to be straightforward is Warrington taking on the Salford Red Devils. Since 1997, Warrington have won 37. The Red Devils have won 24. The form, well, you can see it there. Warrington have lost back-to-back against Wigan. Of course, this is just the Super League that we're talking about here. Warrington have won 3 in the last 5 in Super League, as too have the Salford Red Devils. The last time round, of course, was round 9 at the Salford Community Stadium, 17 points to 10. Who can forget that was the day where Leon Hayes' season came to an end in tragic circumstances. The positions, 4th against 6th. This is what we're saying. This is as tight as it comes, really, this week. 4th against 6th. The attack, 320 for Warrington, 250 for the Salford Red Devils. The defence, 170 for Warrington, 256 for the Salford Red Devils. The bookies have Warrington as a 1-4 favourite, 16-5, the Salford Red Devils. We'll start with the Red Devils in terms of where we are. No, not expected that Adam Sidlow, Jack Ormond-Wood, Cade Cuss, Ben Halliwell or Matty Forster will be back. So quite an extensive list there for them. As for Warrington, of course, now we knew about Joe Philbin being out. He's not going to be back until approximately round 21. Lachlan Fitzgibbon, we don't know yet the prognosis of his back injury. That'll probably come out during the course of the week. And Geordie Crowther as well. He picked up a leg injury in the final as well. So quite a few issues there in the pack for Warrington. No Fitzgibbon, Crowther or Philbin for this particular game. It should be a belter. Like I say, I remember, I think it was last year. It was a belting game at the Halliwell Jones Stadium when Salford came to town. It was they got off to a flyer, if you remember Salford in that one, Greg.
Yeah.
Warrington came roaring back. It was the Fewley scored a try. Was it Tyler Dupree got a bit upset with behind it? Was it before we went to Wigan? And he threw it, Tyler Dupree did him behind the line for one of his tries, and he threw the ball at his head.
It exactly was Tyler Dupree, yeah.
Knowledge, sir, knowledge. Right, let's crack on.
Yes.
Let's crack on. What's your thoughts?
I remember the last time we went to Wembley, we played Salford. We played at Wembley on the Saturday, and Sky and their Infinite Wisdom made us play Salford away on the Thursday night. Well done, guys. And we got tated because we put a youthful side out. I don't think that'll be the case this time. I think Warrington will be absolutely smarting, and I think they have to win this game. There's no ifs and buts about this one. They have to win this game, and I think they will. And I think it'll be 18 plus. I think Holroyd might be in. I think a few other youngsters might come in. Max Wood, if he's fit, will come in. You know, the players who played against Wigan and did really, really well. I think a couple of those will come in. I think Warrington have to win this, and I think they will. And I think Salford always come to the Halliwell Jones and put on a really, really good performance. But the week off sometimes makes you a bit rusty, as was proved at Wembley on Saturday. So Warrington 18 plus.
Fair enough. Steph, your thoughts on this one?
I'm pretty much with Reggie, and just to point on that, I did say about resting players before Wembley. Just to rub that one in, even though I did back you to it. But no, I think I think Warrington bounced back with a vengeance this week. I think they'll be absolutely devastated with that performance they served up at Wembley, but just by the standards they've set themselves this season. And I think Sam will have them motivated. I think Salford will come confident. And I think Sneed's going to be a big factor in the game, as he always is. But that's where Sam's got to do his job this week and look at the previous games, especially that one you lost earlier in the season, and identify where those threats are from Salford and nullify them. And I think he will. I think he's that type of coach that does learn from that. And I'm sure the Warrington fans at Wembley were terrific, even in defeat, and I'm sure they'll be there at the Halliwell Jones on Friday night to roll them on to an 18 plus victory.
Fair enough. Into the chat, Craig Rigby, wire 18 plus. Don Baker there saying Nene McDonald to score. Remember, Nene McDonald went off in the last game. He looked in a bit of a bad way. No word on that. So we'll keep a close eye on that over the coming days. It'd be interesting to see if Nene McDonald is in the 21-man squad. Nothing has been announced at this stage. Callum Calver, he's gone wire 9 to 17. George Woodall, good evening, George. He's gone wire 20 points to 12. Nicola Burtonwood, wire 9 to 17. Doug Kirkby, the same. The man who will not be mentioned, Salford 1 to 8. Mark Smith, wire 9 to 17. John Wilkinson, wire 6 plus. Dawn Baker says 4 either way. Right, let's just fill in the blanks. Gary Schofield, he's gone wire 1 to 18. I'm going wire 9 to 17. I do think they will bounce back. Joel sees it the same, wire 9 to 17. And the consensus on the forum was wire 9 to 17 this week. So that's where we are there. Right, let's jump along now to another potentially interesting game, this one. Which one should we do first? We'll do that one first. We'll do Hull KR taking on the Huddersfield Giants. Right, that's where we're going to go next. Since 2007, it's 19 to 13 in the favour of Huddersfield Giants in the head-to-heads between these two teams. In terms of form, well, the last time out, Huddersfield got their first win in 5. As for Hull KR, they have won 4 of the last 5. The last time round was round number 5. Round number 5 was the last time these two met, and it was a win at the John Smith Stadium, 24 points to 12 in favour of Hull KR. It's third Hull KR taking on 8th Huddersfield Giants. The attack, 338 to 274 in the favour of Hull KR. The defence, not surprisingly, based on the positions in the league, Hull KR conceded 183 this year to 6-3 the Giants. It's a 1-4 on for Hull KR, 3-1 the Huddersfield Giants. Right, let's get into some injury news before we go to Reggie. Oliver Gildart expected maybe to miss this one, and Joe Burgess is also definitely out. I've seen that on the Hull Kingston Rovers feeds today on Facebook. That is a definite no, Joe Burgess, for this game. As for the Huddersfield Giants, lot of to be confirmed here. Andre Savelio, Adam Swift expected to be out. Matty English, he was off with concussion, might get back into the squad, might not. Still no word on Jack Murchie, and this would be a hammer blow. Leroy Cudjoe also has a groin issue. Whether that's going to keep him out or not this coming weekend, we will wait and we will see. Like I say, fascinating game. Again, really looking forward to this one. It's at Craven Park, and I think Hull KR have proven throughout this season that they're a different entity at Craven Park. They really, really are. That said, Huddersfield have performed better on the road than they have at the John Smiths. So it makes for a really interesting, fascinating debate. Greg, what's your thoughts on this one? Oh, hang on a minute. Let's. There you go, mate. We didn't hear you then. Go for it.
Gotta go.
Go.
I'm having trouble tonight.
Gremlins, go for it.
I was going to say something really profound there. I forgot. No, Hull KR have created a great atmosphere there this season. Started, they've been there a couple of seasons that they've had a real good atmosphere building. Lost the last couple. I think the injuries will hit Huddersfield hard. And I think it'll be closer than some people say. I'm going 9 to 17, Hull KR.
9 to 17. Well, Greg Roach, of course, the sultry tones of Greg Roach. Hopefully they're back for the final whistle this coming Monday. Apologies, no final whistle for the Challenge Cup final, but we will be back for round number 14 this coming Monday morning. We will be recording that on Sunday, and just wouldn't be the final whistle without the sultry tones of Mr. Roach. He says it's a big game for the Giants' playoff ambitions. He's not giving up hope, Stef, of Huddersfield Giants getting into the top 6. Lovely to see, a bit of pride, passion and faith in his club. Do you agree? Do you think they could go and do this, or are you going with KR?
I think Reggie's made a good point on the injuries. I think Huddersfield are suffering. They're having a bit of a Leigh phase, at the moment, aren't they? From earlier in the season. So I do think, it's a tough ask to go to KR when you got a fully fit squad, isn't it? They're at home, they're just phenomenal. We kept them to 12 in the last round. Huddersfield, I think, are very evenly matched with Leigh at the moment, so I don't think it's going to be a blowout win, but it potentially could be. That's how good OKR. If they turn it on, it could be. But I think it's going to be a bit close. I've gone the same as Reggie. I've gone 9-17 OKR.
9-17. Callum Calvary says the last game flattered the Giants. I agree with that. I do agree with that. I thought, the Giants were pretty poor, it has to be said. But let's just quickly go through. Mark Smith, good evening to you. Robin's 9-17. Dawn Baker, she's gone 9-17 as well. Dawn Kirkby, she's back in home advantage 9-17. Wouldn't expect anything less from you, Dawn. Let's be fair. Stephen Eachus, he's with us again. Hull KR 9-17. By all accounts, the man who will not be named, he's looking forward to his birthday. Something's getting wrapped up in a big bow for him, by all accounts.
10 days away.
Days time. Look forward to seeing that. How exciting for us all. Nicola Burtonwood, 9-17. She's going Hull KR. Freddie McGilvey, good evening to Uncle Freddie. He'll be there at Craven Park. There's no doubt about it. It wouldn't be a Huddersfield Giants game without Uncle Freddie. Hope you enjoyed the Wakey win at the weekend, sir. Great to have your company. He's going KR. 8-17. Not that we do 8-17, but as it's Uncle Freddie, he's having one foot in each camp. There you go. Bit of a cheat there from Mr. Uncle Freddie there.
Spread your bets, Freddie.
Unbelievable.
We like Freddie. You know yourself out, mate.
Unbelievable. I don't know, liberties, I call it. Anyway, let's get into it. So Gary Schofield, where he's got 18 KR, 18 plus. He sees a big win, as do I. I'm sorry. I agree. I thought again, even with that win against FC, they were poor. And I'm going KR 18 plus. Joel, he's gone KR 120. Apologies from Joel. He hopes to be with us back next week. He's got other engagements this evening. Believe me, if he could be here, he would. And finally, the fans forum 18 plus to Hull KR. So a lot of love there for KR. And of course, actually, something we forgot to mention, a lot of rumours that Seb Ikehefo has been groomed. Bradford Bulls. Groom's probably the wrong word. He's been courted. Courted's the right word. He's been courted by Bradford, I believe.
Right.
I know. There you go. No, it's not that kind of show, ladies and gentlemen. Courted. Being courted by
Let's move on.
Let's just move on pretty quickly. Anyway, there you go. But anyway, it should be interesting. Callum Calver, well, that's made Callum's night. He's laughing his head off. Hey, it's past the watershed. We're fine. We're safe. It's not a problem. Believe you me, no Seb Ikehefos have been harmed in the making of this program. Okay, let's get into the next one. Let's go and have a look at FC against the Leeds Rhinos. This one is, of course, a massive game all of a sudden for Rowan Smith, especially with the new boss in the stands, even though he doesn't officially start until Monday. History since 1998, massive tail of the tape win there for the Leeds Rhinos, 45 wins to 18. Of course, Hull FC, the last 5 in Super League, all losses. As for the Rhinos, 3 wins from the last 5, and of course, 1 last time out. The last time these two met was in round number 9 at the MKM. And it was an 18-12 win to Leeds. So, that was a tight affair, if you recall, back in the day in round 9. Position in the league, 7th place, 11th. The attack, 246 to 172 in the favour of the Leeds Rhinos. But the defence is where it's going to really hurt Hull FC fans. 440 points conceded this season to the Leeds Rhinos, 242. Perhaps that is the killer start of all of them. Hull FC, 19-10. 4-9, the Rhinos. And when you look down the list of players that they're going to be missing now, good news for FC. Jack Charles might be back for this one. That'd be handy. Harvey Barron, who can forget him? He was in Team of the Week a few weeks back. Had a great game. If you remember that one, Harvey, a try and an assist, got him into Team of the Week. He had a really, really solid match. He could be back. However, Joe Cater, still no Carlos Timovari, Danny Houghton, and Liam Sutcliffe, all expected to be missing for this game. As for the Leeds Rhinos, still no Bentley, of course, still no Holroyd, no Donaldson, no Foster Tua, Riley Lum, of course. But I think the good news for them is there's not an awful lot of new problems. Matty Russell, of course, who went there on loan, he should be fit for this one. Andy Ackers should return as well. Lewis Roberts also could return on the wing. So in terms of who's coming into this game in better health, gentlemen, it would appear to be the Leeds Rhinos. They're also in a better league position, in better form, etc., etc. Steph, what's your thoughts? Hull FC, Leeds.
I do think Hull have been improving a bit. I think they have been getting better. They're not the team that was getting beat by 50. earlier in the season. I think they have slightly steadied the ship there a little bit. And I don't think Leeds have been setting the world on fire either. I just don't see it being a blowout score, this one. I think it being quite close, at least for the first 60 minutes. Maybe Leeds get a couple of scores at the end to pull away. I've gone Leeds 9-17.
Yeah, I mean, and it's good counsel, Greg. Certain players there at Hull FC that are playing well. I mean, the young kid Moy, he's getting better with every game. Herman SAS has been absolutely sensational for him, and he has. Truman's getting stronger week on week as well. So there are little glimmers of light there. The question is, will they shine against Leeds and get the job done?
We've seen over the last few weeks, Hull have let teams get away from them and then come back and just left it too late. And I could probably see that pattern repeating itself. That Leeds will have a great start and Hull will claw it back. And I'm with Stef. I don't think Leeds are going to have it all their own way. I think Hull will fall short, I must admit, but I'm going Rhinos 1-8.
Yeah, you are seeing it.
I think that it's another one of those games where Rhinos will have a great start and Hull suddenly start playing and bring it back, but they've left it too late.
Well, I mean, a couple of great comments here in the chat. First and foremost, Callum Calver, big difference in attitude in the camp for him. Jack Walker, he's hoping that Jack Walker plays. I think all of us from the outside looking in, shocked. I know Moy's playing well. I just think Jack Walker was your best player, though. I mean, I've said this, I think, in the last show. I think he was absolutely sensational. Right. Phil Webster says he agrees with Stef. He should be close for the first 80 seconds of the game. Well done, Phil. Nice.
Yeah, like it was at Wembley, yeah.
But I think this is a good point from Alex Sharp. Leeds 1-8, emotional day. First Leeds game since Burrow died. Think occasion might get to the players, or they will have to fire lit by it. 1-8. The Rhinos. I mean, that's a good point. I think it's a different Leeds Rhinos team. I think, dare I say it, the players at Leeds, there's a few in there that probably have come through the system, maybe were coached by Rob when he retired, and I get that. But the likes of a Brodie Croft, etc., they're going to be no further touched by this than Warrington, Leigh and Catalan players. They're not. I think it's the fans. It's what goes on the terraces. I think that's the bit, and that could spill onto the pitch, because I do think the Leeds fans won't wait for Headingley. Yes, the one at Headingley will be a very emotional game, first game back at Headingley, but I don't think they'll wait for that. I think that they will be in full voice and in full tribute to Rob this weekend, and rightly so. So that's going to be interesting to monitor, and I know those Leeds fans will do them proud. And do you know what? I also think, expect a lot of class from Hull FC. I would expect they will be doing quite a bit this weekend to honour the great man himself. Yeah, so there you go. I think who's that? Is that Dawn Kirby? Dawn Kirby says that Jack's been dropped because he called out the environment at FC. Bottom line is, if the cap fits, I mean, quite frankly, the donkey's backside was that big. Anybody could have put the tail on it, couldn't they? But anyway, that's another thing. That's by the by.
That was Texoy's issue, wasn't it?
What's that?
Texoy's issue was the culture around the club.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, but anyway, we'll move on. So Hull FC taking on Leeds. Let's go through it. Gary Schofield, he's gone Leeds 9-17. No surprise there. I'm going 18 plus Leeds. I just am. I just think, you look at who they've got out and who they've got in. I'm going to go Leeds by a score here. I think Rowan Smith needs it, and I think they'll deliver it. And I think some of their key personnel, the likes of Newman, Handley, back, really important. Ackers should hopefully be back for them. I think Aledzki has really started to put a shift in the last 6 or 7 rounds. So, they're looking in better fettle all of a sudden, Leeds. Maybe just maybe, better times are on the way. We'll have to wait and see. Jolie's gone Leeds 9-17, and the fans' form have gone Leeds 18 plus. Callum Calver saying cheers, Dave. What, for pinning a tail on a donkey? What are you telling me cheers for, Callum? Give us a clue, my friend. Always
Leeds, I think, mate.
All right, okay. Always like a party game, though. Anyway, we move on. Let's get into the. Oh, yes, absolutely. Nothing, not those type of parties. I know where you go with your car keys. We move on. Let's get into the Catalan Dragons taking on the Leigh Leopards. Here we go. It's a good job we've been mates for many years. Right, history since 2017. Catalan Dragons 7, the Leigh Leopards 1. Wow. But Catalan are not in good form. 1 win in the last 5 in Super League. Compare that to the Leopards. Yes, they lost last time out, but they've won 3 and drew 1 also in the last 5. And let's not forget that 1 win that the Leigh Leopards have put on the Catalan Dragons came this year in round 9 at the LSV in what was a masterclass of rugby league. That's what it was. Leigh, I don't think, have played better than that all season. They were simply superb. 30 points to 2 at the LSV. It's 5th against 9th. Look at the attack. Now, let's not forget, Leigh have played a game less. That's quite interesting. 264, 244, just 20 points in attack separates Catalan from Leigh, and Leigh have had that 1 game less to play. And if you look at the defence as well, yes, Catalan have a better defence, but we must, just bear in mind, Leigh have played 1 game less than Catalan. Catalan there having a 14-point better defence this season. The bookies, though, do see it as a Dragons win 1-3, Leopards 5-2. But what we do know is that this could almost be a home game for the Leigh Leopards, going in numbers to the point where Catalan have stopped selling the Leopards fans tickets. I salute you, every single one of you. Exceptional effort from the Leigh Leopards supporters. They'll be there in mass. Mr. Sale knows how to treat Mrs. Sale. He's taking her over for a nice Chateaubriand, a little bit of Rhino, and a Leigh Leopards game to finish for dessert. Good lad. Anyway, before we come to Stef and he can bask in the glory of that, let's go to the Catalan Dragons. Mate, lot of injuries. Potentially. None of these confirmed. The one that has been confirmed is Mike McMeekin. Gone till September. We're not getting any of him. We know that Takiaho probably won't play. Might make it, but more than likely not. Then there's a list as long as your arm in terms of potentially players that are not going to be there. Manu Mao, Tanguy Zenon, Paul Seguer, Mickey McAloran, Bailey Simonon, Arthur Romano, Ben Garcia, Tariq Sims, Maximo Ikavalu. The list is as long as your arm. The good news for Catalan Dragons, though, that Ulrich de Costa could return. Now, don't get me wrong, some of those may feature, but at this moment in time, everybody that I've just mentioned are either out or a doubt for this game. That is a hell of a list for the Catalan Dragons, who are not in good form. You compare that to the Leigh Leopards. We know Asiata's out. He's gone. Hopefully, Stef's got the inside track. Gareth O'Brien, we believe, and Matt Davis expected to make this one. Robbie Mulhern the week after. And even John Asiata might be back to face the Rhinos. I've read that as well somewhere. Stef will shore this up in a minute for me. Oliver Holmes could also be back as well. So, I mean, potential back for this one. O'Brien, Ollie Holmes, Matt Davis with Mulhern and Asiata in a week's time. So that's really good news for you, Leigh Leopards fans, to know that they're coming back. I think you're a completely different team with Robbie Mulhern in the front row with Tom Amon. And of course, we know what John Asiata is all about. I'll come to you last, Stef, because then you can give us the inside track and tell us what wonderful things you've got planned for Mrs. Sale above the Rugby League. Greg, over to you. Leopards against Catalan in Perpignan.
Yeah, follow that one. I think Catalan have got a lot of injuries. This, for me, is game of the week because I think it's going to be a real good game. Catalan will have some probably younger players out there. Leigh have got some good players back. It's always a difficult place to go, is Catalan. But I am going to go Leigh 1-8. Sorry. Cancel your flights, Leigh fans.
We're not going, Vic.
She'll come in a minute, won't she? Terminator and addressing you.
To be honest, Stef, she want to go anyway because she don't like Chateaubriand.
Do you give the Rhino refund flights?
She don't like Chateaubriand. She prefers a rosé.
Right. So go on then, Stef. You've got the. Sorry, Greg. What are you going? Leigh 1-8.
Leigh 1-8.
Good man. Right, go on then, Stef. Inside track. Am I right? Is O'Brien back? Is Davis back? How far away Mulhern and Asiata? And then talk to us about this game and where you see it going, mate.
Yeah, you're spot on as usual, Mr. Statman.
Man.
So yeah, O'Brien, Holmes, and Davis all potentially could feature in this one. I don't think they will. I don't think all three will feature in it, but they are back in contention. Mulhern and Asiata potentially next week, but more than likely for the Wigan game, which I think is probably the right thing to do because we have an international break as well in between the Wigan game. So I think it's 3 weeks until that game. So I'd expect him to save Asiata and Mulhern for that one. So that's the injury news, hot off the press.
Okay.
Well, firstly as well, I saw right at the beginning of the show, hello to the Leigh fans who are already there. I know there's quite a lot who've already gone out. There's some that had some flights cancelled yesterday, which so if you are listening to this and you got there safe, brilliant. Hope you've all managed to travel there safely. The numbers are just phenomenal that we're taking over for this one. I think it's a Super League record in terms of the amount of away fans that are going. Considering, like I was saying before about Wembley and the cost of living crisis, that's unbelievable. And I think officially it's 1,500. But the reason why Catalan have put that statement out is because the Leigh fans are buying tickets in the Catalan end. Right. So the rumor is that it's north of 2,000 Leigh fans that are going out to Catalan. So if anything, the atmosphere at Catalan's amazing anyway, with the pyrotechnics, which why they're allowed them, but the clubs can't have flares. I don't know, but anyway, it's always a brilliant atmosphere in Catalan. It's not going to be no different. Perpignan is going to be rocking. I've had my Catalan cup ready. I'm all good to go.
I noticed that you were aerodynamic this evening, sir. Very nice.
They get the annual Catalan cut in. So no, we fly out on Friday. You know how much I love going to Catalan. I think it's my 6th time to Catalan. So we're looking forward to what will be an amazing weekend, come whatever the result is. But the last times we played them there, we've been very, very close games. I think that the last time we played them in June, they raced out to a 20-0 start. They are like balls on the pitch. Hopefully none of that. They raced out to 20-0 start, and then we came back, and then it was just for a soft interception try that cost us the game there, which was devastating. So I do think they've got some key injuries, Catalan. I think McMeekin's out, isn't he?
Yeah,
for this one as well, which will be huge for them when going against our pack. I think if Ipape is fit, because he didn't look fit against OKR. If he's fit, then that could be very dangerous for us. I think it's going to be a very close game, but I think this is our time to beat them. I think we've hopefully they'll be buoyed by the crowd and the fans can get them over the line. So I don't think it'll be a big score by any means. I think it's going to be a very, very close game, and I've gone Leigh 1-8.
Fair enough. Right. Okay. Lovely stuff. How did Dave and Greg feel about Warrington letting a couple of Wolves loose on the Alabama Jones pitch? We had Wolves there this season, early in the season, but they kept them under control. They kept them under control. Right, let's have a quick look up and down the chat. Steve Eachus, he's gone Dragons 1-8. Craig Rigby's gone Leigh 1-8. Freddie McGilvy's gone Dragons 1-8. Connor Pickerman's gone Leigh 1-8. There's a little bit of a tune coming here, boys. But I mean, it really is. It's back and two this in terms of where people see it. Dawn says that the Leopards are on the rise. I mean, no surprise. Matty Sale's gone Dragons 1-8. John Wilson, Dragons 8-17. John's making up his new rules now. Good lad, keeping his foot in each camp. Well done. So that's where they all are. Right, let's go right away through him. Gary Schofield's gone Catalan 9-17. Don't think he'd have seen that injury list when he predicted that. I don't see it that big. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think Leigh will do him. I do. I think Leigh will do him. I'm going to go Leigh Leopards. I'm going to go Leigh 1-8. Greg's gone Leigh 1-8. Joel's gone Catalan 1-8. We've already heard from Stef 1-8 to Leigh, and the fans for him have gone Catalans 9-17. So, like I say, complete split, which is what you want to see. that is exactly what you want to see, because hopefully it suggests that we're going to have a belting game down there in Perpignan. Great entertainment on a Saturday. Prime time!
We may even get some live streams from Perpignan.
Well,
but I will definitely be going on the Final Whistle podcast on the Sunday, though, from Perpignan.
All the way from down in the south. Marvelous.
Yes.
Marvelous. Well, Leigh, just to give a couple of our members a shout out, Nicola Burtonwood's gone Leigh 1-8, and Callum Calver has also gone Leigh 1-8. Right, it's that time of the show. Get your questions in the chat. If you've got a good question, bang it in the chat. We'll have a little pick a couple out before the end of the show. Any question that you want to ask the panel this evening, we'll give it our best shot in answering those questions, because of course the last one I think is going to be a really quick debate. It's the London Broncos taking on the Saints. 40 wins to 8 since 96 in the Saints' favour. London 1 win in 5. The Saints 4 wins in 5. The last time round was round 1, and I think I remember doing the show. I think a lot of us were pleasantly surprised it was only 40 points to 4 that night at the Totally Wicked Stadium. It's first against 12. Attack 353, plays 134. Defence 510. Conceded by London this season, 136 the Saints. 16-1 if you fancy a flutter on London, and they're not taking any bets on Betfred where Saints are concerned, which pretty much tells you where they see this game. Right, the London Broncos, let's have a quick look at those. No Emmanuel Wayne, still he's out. Good news, Dean Parata should be back. Having come back, he's now possibly out again. Ethan Natoli, that's going to be a big blow. Jack Campagnolo, he actually went back to training last week. Whether he gets there or not, we will have to wait and see. McCarney as well, he should return. So Parata and McCarney, they should be in the squad for London. As for the Saints, well, we know their injury list. No Wingfield, no Walmsley, no Whitley, no Knowles. Batchelor out as well, no Lomax. And Conrad Hull is a doubt, but again, such is the strength of the St. Helens squad. It would take, well, it's a bookie killer, quite frankly. It's an absolute bookie killer if London was to win this one, and somebody was to put a flutter on it. I just don't see it. Greg, do you see it?
No, 18 plus Saints.
Fabulous. Steph?
I think we can get to the question of the week, 18 plus Saints.
Fantastic. And it's not surprising. Everybody, Joel, Gary Schofield, the fans forum, Pavlov and his dogs, Doddle and Emu, Grot Bags, the Crankies, they're all doing the same thing. It's 18 plus for the Saints.